Well, Michelle, it is a beautiful story behind this race. It's actually in honor of Philip, and he actually passed away last October, so this is their first run without him. But I am here this morning with Philip's mother, Susan. So, Susan, first off, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Angela, for coming out here on this morning.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about this race and about Philip himself. He seemed incredible.
Sure, he was incredible. I may be biased, but he was incredible. He lived for 19 years on this earth. He was born with a cleft lip and a cleft palate, multiple other facial birth defects, but he overcame everything. I mean, he overcame through surgeries, and even though the medical reports, everything indicated that he would not be able to function and go to school and speak, he made it. He did it, and he actually graduated from Macaulay last year and had an acceptance letter to Lee University ready to go. But he deferred his admission for a year because this was his passion. It was to help children that were born like him and give them a better life, just like he had here in Chattanooga. He wanted the same for other children around the world.
It's so beautiful that he inspires people both in Chattanooga and also just across the world too. There's people running virtually from all over this morning.
Yes.
It's incredible, right?
Yes, it's so fun.
Yeah, and this morning especially is an important morning and an important month in general. September is because it's Craniofacial Acceptance Month. So what exactly is that, and why is it so important for everybody?
Well, Craniofacial Acceptance Month, we say that it's important because we understand that children that are born different, they are not accepted into society. And we talk about how they are at risk for human trafficking, they're at risk for being sold into slavery, at risk for being organ harvested, just because they are born different. And we want to send the message clearly that we love them, we accept them just the way that they are, and we believe that they're going to do great things. Philip would even bless these kids in Zimbabwe and in Kenya and India and in the U.S. and say, you're going to do better things than I ever did.
Yeah, I'm sure. So if he was here this morning, what do you think he would be saying about the wonderful turnout already, at 6:30 in the morning?
Right. I know he would be so excited. He would be just running around here cheering people on and then asking, what do you need me to do? How can I help? And he wouldn't run the race, but he was definitely our cheerleader.
Well, that's so wonderful. And the race is starting in actually about an hour and a half, which is so incredibly exciting for you guys. And the start line will be right behind the camera here. And of course, we'll check back in with you in a little bit, Susan. But for now, I'm going to toss it back to you in the studio, Michelle, live in Chattanooga. Angela Kim, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, lots of folks are lacing up their shoes and hitting the pavement for a special reason this morning, and the weather couldn't be more perfect for a morning run. Channel 3's Angela Kim is live at the Tennessee River Park this morning with more on the special reason behind this year's Run for Philip. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Michelle. It is a beautiful morning out here today, and it's behind Philip. Behind me, you can see people are dedicating their time towards both Philip and also just children in general with craniofacial differences. And here to tell us all about it this morning is actually Philip's mother, Susan. So, Susan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Angela, for having me.
Of course. So you really want to touch on, the link between kids with craniofacial differences, but also human trafficking. It's a very serious thing right now. So what can you tell us about it?
Well, we didn't know the link until we started researching, actually, and had our first medical camp in India when a young woman came in there born with scar tissue over her jaw. She couldn't open her mouth more than a millimeter or two. It turns out that as we were preparing her for surgery, we found out she was HIV positive and had AIDS, so we had to send her for treatment. When we did more research, we found out that she had been from her youth. We met her at 30. She was 30 years old and very malnourished because she wasn't able to eat. And that's when we found out that she had been exploited from her youth. And we understood that, my goodness, if we had been there 30 years before, her life could have been different. Of course, we can't go back, but today we can find those children and change their lives by just simply doing facial surgery. It changes their future, the course of their future.
Right, and a great example of that is Philip. He was a wonderful kid, and he spread so much inspiration for many kids, across the world. So what are you hoping kind of to leave as a legacy from this run, both today and in years to come?
Well, for Philip, because of him, 700 children and adults around the world have received free surgery. 200 women plus have been able to be set free from the evil of sex trafficking. And that is just, as Philip would say, that's just the start, but that is where we left off when he passed on. But we are committed to continue his legacy until the world is cleft free and until no more children are sold. We want to continue his work.
Well, that is a beautiful cause right there and a beautiful start to this beautiful day. And speaking of starting, the race is actually starting in about an hour or so. Yes. So I'll let you go get ready a little more. We'll check back in with you in a little bit. But for now, reporting live in Chattanooga, Angela Kim at Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Lots of people waking up early. Thank you, Angela. The weather is perfect this morning for a run, and some are taking advantage of it, all for a special reason right now at the Tennessee River Park. And that is where we find Channel 3's Angela Kim. Angela, tell us more about the meaning behind this run and how organizers are keeping runners safe during the pandemic.
Yeah, Michelle, those are great questions. We're out here for the Run for Philip this morning, and as you can see behind me, there are some runners back here, but some people are also running virtually. But here to tell us all about these differences this year is actually Philip's mother, Susan. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Angela.
So thank you so much for being here, first off. And obviously things are a lot different this year, first off because of the pandemic. So what changes have there been for the 6th annual race?
So as far as the pandemic goes, we're having to follow all the health precautions and everything here. But what I think one thing that is so amazing is that the community has just risen in honor of Philip and in honor of his memory. So people have registered, like you said, online and gone virtual. And then there are some that are here that feel like they're ready to run the race and just practice all the things that we have to do with the health regulations.
Yeah, no, I think it's so great how supportive people have been. And we saw them here at 6 a.m. They were ready to go already. And the race doesn't start till 8.
Right.
And obviously this year is a little different too because this is the first year that the race is happening without Philip here physically. So can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. This is our 6th annual 5K Run for Love, and all the previous 5 years, Philip has been here at the race cheering. He never signed up to run, but actually his brother was our representative. Caleb would be the runner, and he would cheer his brother on. He'd cheer everybody on, and that was his main goal while he was here. He was just motivating everybody else. He was doing what Philip does, which is encouraging us and motivating us and inspiring us to, hey, this is who you're running for. It's for kids like me. Let's give them a new life. Let's help them. Let's let them know that they are accepted. So we miss him this year desperately, but we know that he's seeing this song that's playing in the background. Actually, Raise a Hallelujah was his favorite song. We played it for him every day in the hospital too, but that was his mission. Let's keep raising a hallelujah. Let's keep going forward, and let's make the dream go forward.
Yeah, let's make this dream go forward. Let's have these racers go forward too, because they'll be starting in about a half an hour, so it'll be a lot of fun. But Susan, thank you so much for being here today. It's a beautiful race, a beautiful memory of Philip, and just a great cause overall. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course. And now I'm going to toss it back to you, Michelle, reporting live in Chattanooga. Angela Kim, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.